Hey folks, as always, good to see you and welcome back to the City of Phear. I'm your host Brendan Jordan and I'm glad you dropped in for a visit. Forgot a few things last episode as my ADHD brain can't remember a whole lot of things unless they're on one of the army of post-it notes scattered all around me pretty much everywhere. Well, before the start of the first episode, the podcast hit over 750 downloads. It may not be much for a lot of folks, but I'm pretty damn proud of that. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and thank you even more for spreading it around. The City of Phear turned 1 year old back on May 20th, before I got the first episode of the season kicked off. Feels like it was just yesterday that I was working on that first episode. I did forget the birthday, but hell, I forget my own birthday half the time. I guess the way I see it, if I didn't remember it, I didn't get any older, right? Last and not least, happy Pride Month, y'all, and happy belated Juneteenth. It's actually Juneteenth the day I'm recording this, but since I probably won't release it for a few more days, happy belated. Alright, enough of my yapping. I've got another one of my stories tonight. I've got more than a few unhealthy habits. Thankfully, sweets isn't one of them. I've always been more of a savory guy myself, which is a good thing, because I wouldn't want to succumb to that sweet candy.
Well, Doc, it all started back when I was 11. I just turned 11, actually. I remember it like yesterday because my birthday was in the middle of the week before the big game. Little League Baseball, that is. My team, the Keswick Rebels, made it to the city championship. You know Keswick?
Yeah. Haven't been down that way in a bit, but I'm pretty familiar. That's where you're from?
Hell yeah. Born and raised. Where do you grow up?
I grew up outside of the city. Been here almost 20 years, so about half my life, but grew up in the burbs.
Ah, so you don't know what it was like here back in the day. Keswick was a tough neighborhood, a poor one. Full of good, honest, hard-working people, though. You know, the kind of neighborhood where everyone knew each other and looked out for each other. Not like it is today.
He looked like he was going to spit on the ground, the floor of my office, but caught himself and sat up straight.
Most of the poor neighborhoods like ours, kids didn't play baseball because of the lack of space. Most of them folks played basketball because there's courts and playgrounds all over the city, but as rough as Keswick was, we had Nelson Park. Woo! It used to be a beauty, big and green in the middle of the city, and it had a baseball diamond.
I walked by it, I think. Did they get rid of the baseball diamond? I asked, knowing that a couple times in the last few years I'd been in that neighborhood and walked by the spot. It was mostly overgrown with weeds, not taken care of, and the type of place you didn't want to linger, as it was fairly well known the folks who slept in the park and hung out around there could get pretty dangerous.
I don't remember exactly when they stopped tending to it. It's a damn shame, but when I was growing up, that was the place to be after school and on the weekends. I played with all my friends from the block. There was Eddie and Bobby and Fats. Then there were the guys from over on Mule Street we used to get into fights with when we were younger, but it became part of the gang.
I sat there looking at the fellow in front of me in my office as he seemed to be losing himself in his memories. I just let him go on.
Yeah, it was a hell of a first baseman. Couldn't throw the ball for shit. Had a great arm, but a wild one, which is why they put me on first. Coach tried putting me in shortstop, but every time I tried to throw the ball to first, I threw so far over the first baseman's head. They moved me over to second, so the throw would be shorter, but that wouldn't work either. When they put me in first, I could catch anything coming my way. I had a great bat too, and nobody could run the bases like me, so I guess that made up for the wild arm. I can still catch, I bet, but I'm not going to be overthrowing anybody anymore.
He chuckled as he pointed with his left hand to his missing right arm. He had on an old ratty t-shirt. I could see where it looked like he lost his right arm about halfway between where his elbow would have been and his shoulder. He walked with a cane, and I expected he was missing part of his left leg, but it was hard to tell as he wore pretty baggy jeans.
Anyway, nobody expected us to make it as far as we did in the city playoffs. It's always the rich neighborhoods that take the city trophy. We had a magic year, though. It seemed like everything was going our way. I turned 13 the week of the championship match. Oh yeah, that's right. I wasn't 11. I was 12, turning 13. Mom had a little cake for me at home, and I celebrated with her and my baby sister Margaret. Pop was away at work, or away at the bar. I didn't get to see him much. Couldn't make it for the game, but I bet he would have been proud of me when I hit the single to drive in the game-winning run. It was a good turnout from folks from our neighborhood. It was like something out of one of those movies. You know, the one where the underdogs with all the odds against them come from behind and beat up on the rich snobs. I was on top of the world, and I couldn't have come at a better time. See, me and the guys were getting ready to graduate from junior high at the end of the school year, and after that we'd be playing in high school leagues if we kept playing. No more Little League. It felt like celebrities going back into the school the next week. Everyone patting us on the back and telling us what a good job we did sticking up for the neighborhood. Man, I wish I could relive that week over and over again. Well, beginning of the week at least. I found a note in my locker on the beginning of the day that Friday. First, I thought it might have been left by Susie Hall. I had a crush on her the whole year, and she wouldn't even give me a second look. See, I was a little bit of a chubby kid. Not as chubby as Fats, but I wasn't the ladies' man that Bobby was. She had started talking to me after we won, so I thought, hey, this might be it. No, it wasn't from Susie, though. It was written all fancy. It was addressed directly to me. It said, "We invite the champions for a special celebration. You deserve to be treated for such a fantastic victory." And that was it. Other than that, it's saying join us this Saturday at noon in the old Bulwark building. Tell no one. So, naturally, the first thing I did was go to Eddie after my next class. I ran up to him in the hall and told him about the note. I asked him if he got one. He said he didn't think so. We went to his locker, and when he opened it, it came falling out. It was the same thing, but addressed to him. I told him to tell the other guys if he got a chance to see them, and at the end of the day, we all got together. Not a big surprise, but it turns out everyone on the team got the note. We went back and forth trying to figure out who it came from or if it was some big practical joke. The best we could come up with was that maybe it was from some girls who had crushes on us and wanted to get into some trouble at the old Bulwark building, if you know what I mean. A few of the guys were a little nervous about the whole thing, but we made plans to meet up on the baseball diamond at 11:30 the next day and decide if we were going to head over to the building or not. Jesus, I wish we would have listened to one of the fellows trying to talk us out of it. I got there pretty early. It took a few of the guys longer to show up, some of them showing up almost right before noon. A few of the guys were pretty nervous about it. Lefty went home, to chants of Pussy Boy echoing across the field. The rest of us decided we were in for whatever it was, still hoping and expecting it was something put on by the girls. The old Bulwark building was just a few blocks away from the baseball diamond, so we made our way over there as a group. There was a parking lot in front that had a front gate, but the gate was open. It felt like a bunch of little hoodlums anyway, going through the gate that was usually locked. To our surprise, as we walked up to the front door, it opened and out came a middle-aged woman. Really pretty. Like the kind of teacher we all would have had crushes on, though there weren't any teachers like that at our school.
"Welcome, champions, heroes of the neighborhood. We're so happy to have you. Come on in for your party."
Eddie and I exchanged suspicious looks, but the other guys had already started heading inside, so we followed suit. It was pretty much an empty warehouse, but there were round tables and chairs set up, boxes of pizza, cans of soda, and bowls full of chips and pretzels out. The woman motioned to us to come in, sit, and eat. So we did. Nobody really questioned any of it, which felt weird to me, but I didn't want to be the first one to speak up and ruin the party. Thankfully, after a few minutes, while everyone started gorging on their pizza and soda, Fats spoke up and said,
"Hey, lady. We appreciate this and all, but who are you exactly?"
I hadn't noticed until then, but the woman was in the corner talking to two other very pretty older ladies. She broke from them and came out to address Fats.
"I'm your neighbor. Well, my sisters and I have been in the neighborhood for a very long time. It's not often we see our neighborhood win anything quite like you boys did, so we figured it would be nice to treat you. If the neighborhood team keeps winning, we might need to make this a tradition. So eat up and enjoy, and when you're finished, we have a special treat for all of you.
Well, I guess we were pretty trusting, not too worldly, even for city kids, because that's all we really needed. After a little while, the women started clearing the boxes. The unnamed woman who had opened the door said,
Now for your surprise. We're opening our very own candy company right here in Keswick. We want you all to be the first ones to get some of our chocolate bars.
A few whoops and hollers went up from the boys, including Fats, who, well, wasn't named that for nothing. The two women came out from a door on one of the far walls that we hadn't noticed, carrying large wicker baskets full of what looked like candy bars. They went around the tables, dumping handfuls of full-size chocolate bars on the table as they said,
Eat up, as much as you'd like.
The candy bars were flat and long, and they were in all-black wrapping paper that didn't have any writing or logos on it. I didn't think twice and dug in with the rest of the guys. It didn't taste like anything special, but chocolate was chocolate. It didn't matter that we had filled up on pizza and soda, we couldn't put the chocolate bars down. At one point, our pitcher Teddy shouted out,
Hey, there's no name on these. What are they called? Where can we get them?
To which one of the women responded,
Oh, we're still figuring out what to call them. Don't worry about that for now. That's all we have for today, but if you want to get more in the future, just come back at night.
We're just about finishing up all the candy. A few of the guys stuffed them in their pockets. When I saw this, I put one in my backpack I had been lugging around. The woman who had opened the door stood in front of us and said,
Well, boys, that concludes your party. Congratulations again, and I hope you enjoyed the chocolate. We hope to see you again here real soon.
We all started standing up, and when I got out of my seat, I immediately felt incredibly dizzy. I fell backwards on my ass on the floor. It didn't hurt, but I had to crawl over onto all fours. I noticed most of the guys were doing the same. Everyone kind of looked like Dad after he had gotten home from the bar and Mom was yelling at him. I felt an aching in my stomach. Oh my God, did they poison us? I thought or said or yelled, I don't really know. I couldn't really tell what was what. I started seeing swirls of colors and flashes of images of what I couldn't quite make out. Shadowy people moving around, the women. All this flashed in my sight while I struggled to get back to my feet, which I did. I saw the other boys stumbling around or getting themselves up off the floor. Nobody was speaking. I was trying to yell to them, but no words were coming out of my mouth. It went on like this for a minute or two, then I felt all the strength go right out of me and I fell back down. It's the last thing I remembered before waking up on the baseball diamond. The sun was just starting to set. I felt tired, groggy. A few of the other guys had already woken up, though it looked like maybe just seconds before me. They were rubbing their eyes. We all stood up at once and just shot looks at each other. Nobody said a word. Felt like I wanted to, but nothing came out of my mouth. We all just parted ways and went back to our houses for the night. It was getting to be almost dinner time, and none of us wanted to get a whooping. It was quiet at home that night. Withdrawn. I ate dinner barely saying a word. Dad wasn't home yet, so it was just Mom, Sis, and me. Margaret went on and on about one of her friends in the neighborhood who just got a new puppy. I heard every other sentence, but everything seemed drowned out. I went to bed early. I felt kind of sick the next day at Mass and couldn't wait for it to be over. I wanted to go talk to somebody about what had happened. I went to Nelson Park, but I didn't see any of the guys. We were around for a little over an hour, just kicking sand and walking around the bases. Eventually I went home, spent the rest of the day in my room just reading comics before bed. The next day at school I still felt off. I saw a few of the guys in the halls in between classes, and we made eye contact but didn't say anything. A bunch of us had lunch together. We always sat at the same table. Nobody was really talkative. It was killing me. I wanted somebody to say something about what happened at that warehouse. I felt like I was going loony, and I might have just imagined the whole thing. We mostly ate our lunch in silence, a few other kids coming up to us still to congratulate us on our win. It wasn't met with the same enthusiasm as last week. Finally, with about 5 minutes left in the lunch period, Teddy said,
"How are you guys feeling after Saturday?"
I looked around at the responses. Nobody spoke up immediately, but everyone looked a bit shook up and startled, like they were doing the same thing I was and just waiting for someone to bring it up.
"What do you mean? What do we do Saturday?"
A bunch of the other guys started shooting glances back and forth. Eddie spoke up.
"You were there, man. Those women, the pizza, the chocolate,
And he had trailed off. Fats looked confused and angry.
You guys are crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna go get ready for next period."
A bunch of the guys gave short responses of something like,
"Not good. Not good."
or something about feeling sick or feeling really sad and not knowing why. After school, I went to the park with my bat and glove. We usually would meet up there every Monday and Thursday without saying, to get some practice in. Wasn't always everyone, but enough to get some batting and fielding practice in, or at least shoot the shit and talk about girls. It was the same as Sunday, though. I was the only one there. I waited a bit, but ended up just going home. Dad was home that night. He was in a mood. Still wasn't speaking much, so at least I didn't provoke him any. That night I had horrible nightmares about that Saturday. Everything kind of just replayed, and I felt the dizziness, the sickness, the shadowy figures dancing around in my vision. I woke up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. I felt a sharp pain in my stomach. I felt a hankering for chocolate. I used a little bit of lunch money my mom gave me to go to the corner store and get a few chocolate bars before school. They were tasty, but didn't really settle my craving. I felt sick for most of the day. Still really craving that chocolate. By lunchtime, I was starving. Guys at lunch again were pretty much still the same way they were the day before. Ate? Nobody saying anything? I didn't have any money for the school lunch, but then I remembered I had that chocolate bar in my backpack. I didn't imagine the whole goddamn thing. I took it out and opened it up. A few of the guys shot up.
"You still have that? I ate mine as soon as I got home. Give me a piece." "Yeah, give me one too."
I shooed them away.
"This is all I have to eat today. I can't share."
I saw some wild looks go over the others' faces. Bobby, who was sitting next to me, shoved me out of my seat. When I fell over, the group pounced on my chocolate bar, fighting with each other and grabbing whatever chunks they could get out of it. The teachers had to break up the scuffle and sent us to different tables around the lunchroom. I didn't talk to the guys for the rest of the day, but I barely made it through, starving and feeling sick. I slept horribly that night too. Woke up around 1:23 in the morning or so. I couldn't get back to sleep, and at that point, I was dying to get me some chocolate, specifically the chocolate from the warehouse women. I usually wouldn't have been so bold, but I got dressed and snuck down the stairs and snuck out of the house. I made my way to the warehouse. I don't know what I was thinking, but after that dream of the last Saturday had repeated, they had said to come back and see them to get some more or something like that. It was just a few blocks away, so when I got there, I saw that the gate was swinging open again, the way it was on that Saturday. The door was shut. I walked up to it, and just as I was about to knock, I heard a familiar voice from behind me.
"Hey, Paul, you're here for more too? Sorry about lunch today, it's just,
I looked over my shoulder and saw Bobby.
Have you been back here yet?" "No, this is my first time back yet, but, it's only been a couple days." "Yeah, I came back Saturday night. It's great, they're really crazy." "What do you mean?" "Well, they're giving away that awesome chocolate. they're not even making us pay for it. Well, I mean, the crazy thing is, the first time, they just asked for some fingernail clippings. They clipped them for me. Other times, they've just been cutting off some locks of my hair.
I looked him over and noticed his haircut looked like a rabid dog had been chewing on his head for a bit. Before I could respond, the door opened up and familiar women who had welcomed us greeted us again.
Come in, my children.
We went in, and most of the warehouse room was dark with a light on one small circular table. Bobby walked up to it, and I followed him. She looked at him and said,
We're going to need all the hair now. Are you okay with that?
He shook his head enthusiastically as the other women I remember from the party came out with scissors and a straight razor. They shaved him bald. He smiled the whole time. The sickly smile that kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies. I wanted to run out of there right at that minute, and I wish I had. I didn't, though. When I saw them give him that chocolate bar with the all-black wrapper and saw him devour it like one of them starving kids from the TV ads, I decided I needed to stay. The women gathered his hair in a bowl and rushed it back out of sight and into the darkness.
Paul, since this is your first time back, we're just going to need some toenail clippings. Ew, that's gross. What do you want with those? Never you mind, child. Do you want the chocolate or not?
I was hurting, sick and hurting for that chocolate. I took my shoes off, took my socks off, and let her clip my toenails into a bowl. She gave me a bar of chocolate. I didn't eat it right then. I put it in my pocket and looked around for Bobby. Looked like he already left, so I just did the same. I ate half the bar when I got home, and I immediately felt better. I felt strong, healthy. Got a good night's sleep for the first time since that Saturday. Felt good for most of the rest of the week, but then started feeling sick again. Started seeing flashes of the images in my head of those shadowy figures. Started dreaming about them too, and craving the chocolate again. Thought about going back to the warehouse for some more. It looked like most of the other guys had. Most of them were missing their hair at this point. None of us really talked much at lunch anymore. Pretty much just sat in silence, eating a little bit, not much. Towards the end of the day, when I was at my locker, that Fats came up to me. He patted me on the shoulder.
Hey man, you're not looking so good. You alright? Yeah, I'm fine. I just need more chocolate? Yeah, you wanna go with me tonight? Hey, wait around for me after school on the front steps. There's something I need to tell you.
He patted me on the shoulder and went walking off to class.
Hey, Fats, hold up.
I yelled, but he just kept walking and I quickly lost him in the crowd. I saw him waiting for me on the steps outside the front door of the school. He was looking around frantically, like he didn't want to miss me, and his eyes lit up when he saw me coming towards him. I waited until I got close and said,
Hey man, so do you want to go with me to the warehouse tonight? Fuck no, man. I'm never going back there. How many times have you been there since? Not since that first time. I'm sorry I didn't say anything, but I remember everything. I didn't want to remember it. And I heard the guys start talking about going back there, and that the witches were taking things from them. Witches? Where do you get that from? Oh, they're witches or monsters or something. I don't know, man. I just know what I saw, and you need to stay the hell away from there. There's no way in hell I'm going back. I tried to tell the other guys, but they won't believe me. What? What did you tell them? That day when they fed us the chocolate, we all got sick, remember? I had filled up on pizza, so I wasn't eating as much chocolate as the rest of yous. I ate some. I started feeling really sick. I saw everyone else falling over, and I thought I was gonna shit my pants. Really, I thought I was gonna shit my pants. I went stumbling around the place looking for the commode. I went through a door I thought was it, but it was just a small room.
He took a long pause.
I saw those 3 women crouched down, hovering over something, tearing out chunks of meat and devouring it like they were rabid wolves. It was a guy, Paul. It was a freaking guy. They're a bunch of goddamn cannibals. I didn't want to believe it, but when I heard that you guys were doing and just going there to get more chocolate, Jesus, I'm telling you, because you better stay away from there.
I should have listened to old Fats when he told me that story. I should have had second thoughts when that night they shaved my head and took off a chunk of skin from my scalp, and I saw him lick it. Hell, I should have said hell no when they took my first toe, or started taking my fingers. I didn't, though. The more of that chocolate I ate, the worse the visions and nightmares got when I didn't.
I sat across from my client, realizing what happened to his missing limbs. Oh, geez, Paul. It's a hell of a story. You've really been through it. Imagine there's a lot of reasons you're here concerning all this. What are you hoping I can help you with?
Well, Brendan, it's been a crazy, wild ride of a life. Most of that old baseball team, they're not here anymore. They're dead and gone. Devoured by those soulless, chocolate-peddling bitches. I saw them lose, part by part, limb by limb, till one day they were gone. Fats was the smart one. You can hardly call him that anymore. He grew up, got in good shape. Heard he went to college and got a fancy degree. Heard he's married, couple of kids, but we don't talk anymore.
Sorry to hear about your friends. You're still here, though. Why do you think that is, when so many of your friends, met their end the way that they did?
Well, that's exactly why I'm here. See, most of my friends were gone before they hit 40. Eddie and Bobby, I saw them over and over again, around the neighborhood, each time missing more fingers, then parts of their arm or leg, sometimes a foot or two, till eventually I didn't see them anymore. I don't know if the ladies offered this up to everyone, or maybe just me and Chuck. He's still around. Oh, I didn't mention him. He was our third baseman. Great arm while he still had it. The women, witches, whatever they are, one day told me that they'd keep giving me chocolate so long as I go out and give some of it to other people. Tell them where they can go get some more.
Oh, wow. So I imagine that must have been a tough decision to make for you.
Fuck no. That was easy as hell. I gave it out to drug dealers, pimps, stuck-up yuppies, anyone I thought might be a piece of shit. I didn't feel bad about it at all. In fact, I kind of felt like I was doing a good thing while still being able to get my fix.
Alright. I mean, I guess I can see the justification in that, so what's the issue exactly?
Well, they threw a curveball at me last week. They told me the only way they'll give me any more is if I invite the kids and host a party for the neighborhood kids from my neighborhood who won the city baseball championship this year.
Oh shit, okay. It's a whole nother kind of thing from what you were doing.
Yeah. If I'm getting pieces of shit addicted to this stuff and they get eaten, that's one thing. But I haven't lost my soul yet. Can't fucking do that to innocent kids. Kids like we were. Kicker is that they told me that if I don't do it, they're just going to take the rest of me that's left. Sure, you can read between the lines of what that means.
He started tearing up a bit, but subtly. I got you. Well, I think I can try my best to help you work through this stuff. There's a lot to think about here and consider. It sounds like the withdrawal you get when you don't get the chocolate is a little different from most drugs, and I can't say I'm familiar with that or if there's any scientific literature I can use to help you out, but I'll look into it. It's nice meeting you. I'm sorry you're going through this, but I'll do the best I can to help. Are you good for the same time next week?
Yeah, I am. I'm a little short on cash at the moment,
he said as he rummaged around his pocket for a second. He pulled out a chocolate bar in an unmarked black wrapper.
I can pay with this,
he said, waited a few uncomfortable seconds before pulling it back, putting it in his pocket, and laughing his ass off.
I'm just fucking with you, Doc. I wouldn't do that to you.
He pulled out some cash and paid for the session. Alright, I'll see you next week. Sad story. Even sadder that I didn't see him again. Wondered what happened to Paul. I don't know what decision he made, but I hope it was the right one for him. Being a therapist is a tough job. Even tougher in a haunted city. My hat's off to all the other therapists out there, if there are any listening. I hope you've got a good outlet like I've got in this podcast and all the other random hobbies I collect. If you're out there and you're in therapy, thank your therapist for the work they do. They'll appreciate it more than you can imagine. If you like what you heard tonight, like, subscribe, follow, leave a rating or whatever it is on the platform you're listening on. It'll help me get to 1,000 and hopefully many more in the future. Tell your friends about it too. I'm terrible at advertising this thing, so I'm mostly relying on word of mouth and some random Reddit posts. Happy to say the next episode will have a story from our first ever guest author. I got a bunch of good submissions, and this one really stood out to me, so stay tuned. So happy you decided to take the trip into the city tonight and spend some time with me. Watch out for folks giving away chocolate bars on your way out, and I hope to see you back real soon.